Welcome to the January edition of the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report. We start the new year with a look at what to expect during the 2026 legislative session. As always, education will be a topic of discussion throughout the session. MSBA Executive Director Melissa Randol and Senior Director of Advocacy Whaley got together recently to recap the end of 2025 and provide a 2026 legislative preview. Melissa and Caitlin recorded the first episode of MSBA's new podcast, Always Bored, Never Boring. During the episode, they covered a wide variety of topics, but zeroed in on the education topics that could come up during this legislative session.
Well, let's talk about what are those topics. Education obviously is one of them. What are some of the topics within education do you think will bubble up? And what are the other big things that are going to drive the General Assembly this session?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be kind of some of the main topics that we've been talking about year after year. I think we're going to see open enrollment is going to be a huge topic this year. Another topic that I'm certain is going to come up is expansion of charter schools. Right now, with the exception of Boone County, who got its own special law, charters can only be expanded in when there's, a subpar kind of accreditation status, and there's not any schools that currently are in that, which was a point of contention at the DESE hearing, at the Senate Education hearing this week. But I do think that people are going to look to expand, to create new ways for charters to exist outside of those categories.
Caitlin says that one topic in particular could be a focal point of the session, and it greatly affects public schools.
I think taxes is going to be the topic during session. I think it's a complex issue, and it's an issue that everybody is talking about in one way or another. And you're right. There's a big push on the property tax front. There's a big push from the governor on the income tax front. Somebody made a comment to me a few weeks ago that it seemed like nobody has a plan. And I said, no, I think the problem is that everybody has a plan. And so I think, I do think that both of those will be on the watch list throughout session. And I don't know if one's going to win, if somebody's going to find a path forward for both of them. Obviously, property tax is incredibly important to schools, and we have been closely monitoring and engaging with other groups that are interested and focused on defending local services, local schools, and that funding stream, because that is what keeps Missouri schools afloat as 49th or 50th, depending on the year, in state support for public schools. Like, that is how our schools survive and exist. And that's why we're so worried about Senate Bill 3 and watching that lawsuit so closely. Yeah. And that's why we're going to be extremely involved in, advocating for why that funding is critical for public schools.
To listen to the full legislative preview, visit the MSBA website for links to the podcast. New episodes will be released every month to not only keep you up to date on the latest during the legislative session, but also year-round conversations on the issues, opportunities, and stories shaping today's schools. Speaking of the legislative session, MSBA's 2026 Advocacy series starts this month with the first Legislative Lunch and Learn, which takes place on January 17th. There will be monthly lunch and learns through May, and of course there's MSBA's Advocacy Day on Tuesday, March 10th. Advocacy Day activities begin at 9:30 a.m. at the Mill Bottom in Jefferson City, with the Student Showcase in the Capitol Rotunda in the afternoon. And finally, school safety is always an important topic. And with that, the most important school safety gathering ever held in Missouri is coming soon. Join us April 22nd through the 24th for the Missouri School Safety Conference in St. Louis. This statewide conference is hosted by MSBA Center for Education Safety in cooperation with the Missouri Department of Public Safety, the Missouri Department of Mental Health, and the FBI St. Louis Division.
This event is built specifically for those at the forefront of school safety. Principals, superintendents, school board members, school safety coordinators and directors, mental health professionals, SROs, and other first responders.
You'll find sessions on crisis mental health, threat assessment, incident command, emergency response, and so much more.
If you've been navigating the new requirements of Senate Bill 68, this conference is for you. And if you have the ultimate responsibility for keeping students safe, this conference is for you.
Together, we can lead, prepare, and protect because our students deserve nothing less.
For more information about the Missouri School Safety Conference, visit the MSBA website. That's it for this month. Thank you for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and we'll see you in February for the next MSBA Board Report.